How would you like to make your first million? And today we have Randy Gage with us. He is the entrepreneur whisperer. This is how his clients call him, and is an author of multiple books. So you're here for the treat. So Randy, tell us, what are the 5 steps that you recommend entrepreneurs in order to make the first million?
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
Okay, so if we have to break it, that's not like a framework I normally do, but if you ask me to categorize it that way, step one to me is you have to look for the marketplace. If you tell me I'm the world's preeminent expert on caribou migration, I'm going to tell you you're going to raise very skinny children because there's not a big market for that. There's only 2 speeches a year and they don't pay. There's only 1 textbook on that could be written, and then it's all repetitive. It's not really a market share. So you got to look for, and here's the questions I always ask is, how can I help someone solve more problems, or how can I help them by adding value? So that would be step one. You look for, where's an area, something I want to do where I can help solve problems and add value. And there is a market there of people who will pay me money to do that.
And then what will be the next step?
Okay, step 2 is start to build a list that you own and control, like a text list, an email list, but it can't be like a Facebook page, because if Mark Zuckerberg decides to deplatform you, you're out of business, right? It can't just be people who follow you on X or people who follow you on TikTok, because you don't own or control that list. It's really, because what you've got to do to become a successful entrepreneur is you have to connect with your tribe. Your tribe, that's the people who want to spend money with you. They say, Harry, you're the expert in this. I need your help, Harry. How can I hire you to teach me what I need to know, right? So I'm always telling, if they're a speaker, author, coach, consultant, whatever, build a list. Get an email list, get a text list, so that people sign up to hear from you. And so when you write a new book, or you create a new seminar, or you launch a new podcast, you can get to your tribe and you can connect with them.
Yeah, I'm following step 3, 4, and 5.
All right. So step 3 is become a content factory. I mean, that's what I did. I looked in like 2005, 2006. I said, I think this Twitter thing isn't going to go away. I need to get on Twitter and learn how it works. So I did. And then I said, okay, now I got to learn Facebook, because a lot of people are on Facebook. So I learned Facebook. Then, like, wow, everything's going to video. All the young kids are watching YouTube. So I created a YouTube channel, right? And each case I learned, what's the platform? I get in there, I observe, you read the room, see how it operates. You don't just go in and try to sell things to people. You go in and then you look for, hey, where can I add value? Where can I solve problems? How do I become a valuable part of this community, whether it's a Facebook group or a Twitter following or whatever it is? And then you're creating content. So you're giving away free content, kind of the Gary V model. Just jab, 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 right? He's just giving this free content all the way. And then when he's got a book or a seminar, that's his right hook where he's going to come in and say, hey, if you find this work that I do valuable, I have a new book coming out on Tuesday. Why don't you go and please buy 5 copies for me? And if you have created that bond and you've shown them, I mean, really what you're doing at that point is you're building your personal brand. And by personal brand, I don't mean your logo or your tagline. I mean the way that your tribe sees you. More importantly, how they see you in relation to them, how you could help them. And that's why I say you got to be a content factory. So whether you're writing books like I do, or you're posting on Instagram, or you're create a YouTube channel, or you're got a Substack newsletter, you're just writing blog posts, but you're just putting out content that is building your personal brand, developing a connection with your tribe, and that's where that list at step 2 comes in, right? And then you're building, you're demonstrating your expertise. And then you're going to say, what's step 4, right?
Absolutely, 4 and 5.
All right. So step 4 is we got to monetize. You have to
Wow,
find
I
it.
love that
You
one.
have, yeah, because great, you have expertise in this. Now we got to know how can you use that expertise to feed your family? Because if you don't feed your family, you can't keep doing your business. And if you can't keep doing your business, you can't help anyone, right? So you say, do I write books? Do I create a coaching program? Do I create a 6 video learning course? Do I offer consulting services? Do I have a coaching program? But how can I take this expertise that I've worked on and monetize it? And that's because, again, if you don't get paid, you can't help anybody.
You have a hobby. You don't have a
Yeah,
business.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. You have a hobby.
Okay, and then the last one.
Scale. You got to learn how to scale that business because you have to escape the trading hours for money trap because that's a very limiting construct. It's a limiting model. Even if you're paid, like I get a lot of money to do a speech, right? I mean, I get paid to do a speech more money than I used to earn in a year, right? So it can look
Wow.
very sexy, right? But I also know, like, I'm literally leaving tomorrow. I'm flying to Acapulco. I'm going to do a speech on Friday morning, 2 session, a half-day session, and then I'm going to fly back on Saturday. And I'm going to get paid a lot of money for that. But it's really 3 days out of my life because I'm flying there a day. I'm there a day,
Tell me about it.
flying back. Yeah. So you got to say, how many days can I actually do speeches? How many days do I have to travel? So how do I scale that content?
That's a difficult one.
Yeah, because it's really
You're
important
thinking,
also I would consider it in the content creating step, but let's say if we call this a 6 step framework instead of a 5 one, one of the steps would be develop intellectual property, right? IP. Get work that you are known for. That's what you're doing in that content creation step, right? And then it's really important for everybody who's on your podcast now. Um, Entrepreneurs are leaders. That's the theme of your whole podcast, right? Well, what do leaders do? They have to lead the followers. They have to be thought leaders. They have to kind of look around the corner and say, what's going to happen next? So, and for right now, for everyone who's listening or watching this right now, the what's next is AI. AI isn't coming for your job. AI is already in the parking lot coming in to drag you out.
Yeah.
So if you, yeah, like all my speakers, coaches, authors, consultants, I tell them all the same thing. You get paid for what you know. But in 2 years, nobody is going to pay you for what you know because artificial intelligence will know
Already
everything
know.
that you know. So it knows everything they know. It knows everything you know. It knows everything I know. It knows everything everybody knows, right? I see a lot of my friends on the screen behind you, right? John DeMartini and Les Brown, right? AI is going to
Oh,
know
great
everything.
speaker.
Yeah, AI is going to
Eh,
know everything they know too. So
mhm.
what you've got to understand, all of us, is, hey, 2 years from now, nobody's going to pay me for what I know. They're going to pay me for what I think.
Mhm.
So
And
what
for
am
what
I
you develop,
doing?
exactly like you said, the IP. That
Yeah.
is
So what am I doing right now to create that IP, develop that personal
that
brand
only you can deliver. Yeah,
that only you can deliver?
100%. That was amazing, Randy. And let's break it down. Some points that you touched, right? And let's talk about scaling. Okay, in the scaling the business, particularly this one about coaching and mentoring. I do talks all over the world as well. We have these organizations, speakers and leaders, and we do workshops in Singapore, Dubai, Mexico, Peru, United States, you name it. So um, the problem with or the problem of that industry is how you scale because you only one person. I've been literally 8 months on the plane before COVID, and I had to. You see, sometimes I had to be in Singapore, and the next day I had to be or the next day after in Mexico, and then I'm doing a stay over in London. I'm based in London, and in the airport in London, I cannot even sleep in my own bed because I have to be the next day. And you know how it is this business. The promoter pays for your flight and for the thing, so it's not like you can choose what time are you flying, or it depends. Especially if you have so much speeches, the schedules are tight. Sometimes you're jumping around the world from country to country. So, how you scale a coaching speaking business, you raise something very important, which is creating IP, creating that intellectual property. Okay, that even if the AI know your IP, only you know better than the AI because you create that concept, right? And this is what you're known for. Like, for example, we have speakers at least, it's our own technology. We develop that process. And everybody around the world, when you said Harry, everybody said speakers and leaders. Okay. That so how you develop that? Tell us a little bit more about this.
Okay, so I always look at how do I automate? How do I systematize? And that tells me how do I scale? So, for instance, I have so many people who want coaching, right? So I get DMs every day, emails every day. Oh, I read your book. Can I meet you for lunch and
And
pick
you
your
only one
brain?
person.
Right. I'm only one person. Ain't gonna happen. I can't coach millions of people. So I created my Breakthrough You coaching program. And I created 3 levels, right? So for people who just starting out and they need the basics, I have an inexpensive but solid development course that will help them. I have a mid-level for people like, hey, they're working hard, they're getting after it, but they just can't break that $1 million barrier, let's say. And then I have a program for a level for the uber successful people, right? And I do group classes there. I do group coaching there. So I'm able to scale a little bit. So now instead of me doing a one on one presentation with 15 people, I might have 15 people in a group presentation. That's a form of scaling, right?
Absolutely.
I have content, I record it, and then I put it into a course and they can go and download it. And that's a form of scaling. My books are a form of scaling,
Mm.
my online courses. But I go much, much further than that. Like I have created an AI agent for my newsletter. I have a subscription newsletter, right? So I have trained that model with my books, with my blog posts, with my actual newsletter articles. So it thinks and it can write like I do. And I can say, I have an idea for an article this month, and I want it to be on this topic. And here's what I think are 4 or 5 of the important areas that need to be covered. Can you create an outline for me? Can do that in 3 seconds. And it's not AI slop. This is really good because it doesn't search the internet. It is only trained on my books, my writing. So
100%.
it doesn't hallucinate, it doesn't exaggerate, it doesn't take non-relevant stuff, and it doesn't write stuff that I wouldn't write.
Exactly.
I've got, like you, I'm a podcaster, right? I have a thing that's called the Power Prosperity Podcast. I created an agent. So here's the only prompt I need to do. I say, hey, I'm doing a podcast with, let's say, Les Brown. I'm doing a podcast with Les Brown. Please prepare everything. In 3 to 5 seconds, it creates 5 suggested titles for the themes for the show. It gives me a bio of Les. It gives me 15 to 20 sample questions that I could ask in the interview. It creates the YouTube and the podcast description. It gives me the hashtags and the keywords for that description. It gives me 20 ideas for social media posts to promote the show. And all of that is done literally within 3 to 5 seconds. That's how long it takes, right? So
Unbelievable.
that's
Yeah.
6 hours worth of work that maybe I would have done an hour worth of work and my team would have worked 5 hours. My AI agent, which works for free 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, did it in 5 seconds. So that is scaling. And a couple other examples, and then we can move on. But
Yeah, I think that.
I'm just about to launch a AI advice bot on with messenger apps like WhatsApp, Telegram, Signal, where they subscribe to it. We're going to launch it next month. They subscribe to it and they ask questions, and my bot, which is trained by me, again with only my material, will answer that. So that's totally AI. And then I've created a new operating system for people in one industry that I have a lot of domain expertise in. So I've created an OS operating system for that. And it's got 10 modules of training. Interact with them where they can actually role play and they take tests. They learn that. And it's all fueled by AI. So
Yeah,
I can
with
be,
hours, with
yeah.
hours here for the podcast is unbelievable. Like the when I started this podcast, I we already interviewed with 500 millionaires, and the my IT director, I told him, "Oh, we're gonna do a podcast," and he told me, "What's that?" I said, "I don't know." He said, "I don't know either." I told him, "Okay, Harry, give us 3 weeks." And after 3 weeks, the only thing that they told me is, "Harry, just record the video and upload it to the box. That's it. We have already developed the AI things, and this is gonna go everywhere, all the social media, all the suggestion, everything." And I don't know what they have done. However, what I know is that same like you, we have created a lot of content before, okay? And this is where the hard work, everybody talking about AI, you have done a very hard work because the AI need data. Without data, the thing cannot take your own decision, cannot think or talk like you do, okay? It needs some data. And for that data, you have to do a hard work. Like, for example, you have Or how many books you said you published? Like 10.
I just finishing number 16 now.
Exactly. So imagine how much content, okay, how much data that bot that you develop have
Right.
to work on to actually create something meaningful, right? So yes, we can use AI, but the hard work had to be done before. Like for example, with the tool our AIs, we download all my podcasts, all the conference that I've done all over the world, everything we recorded, transcribed. So when we ask them to do something, right? The amount of data that the software has to work on, produce for the content that we have created along the years, is what actually is gonna give you a real agent with a real, like exactly you tell it, like you said, okay, I want to have an idea for an article, okay, but it's not going to internet to search. It's going to from your own content, for your own
Right.
from your thing that you. So, what advice do you have for entrepreneurs out there or everybody using AI? Okay, because one thing is go and find in Google to put a prompt and go and find in Google or not or find in the internet what is the best way of doing it or what the answer. Completely different ball game. Is you ask to AI, I need to do that, and it's gonna go and search just in an environment with only you have produced that data, you have produced that content, so that really the thing actually thinks and write like you.
Well, so a couple of thoughts here and one resource. Um, it's moving at such an incredible pace,
Fast.
right?
Oh yeah.
So fast. There is no experts. Anybody who tells you they're an AI expert, then I don't trust them at all because
Will be obsolete
even,
next day.
yeah, Elon Musk would tell you, I'm not an AI expert. I can't keep up with it. Sam
Mhm.
Altman, who runs OpenAI, would tell you, I'm not an expert. I'm just pedaling as fast as I can. I'm not an expert, and I'm not even a programmer. I'm a high school dropout, right? So I don't have a degree in anything. Yet I built a multi-million dollar business and scale it,
100%.
and I'm using AI to do it because I don't care how the coding is done. That's irrelevant. What I want to know is how do I achieve this result I want, right? And then
And
I
how the
pay
product is
people.
marketed. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
then I pay people to program that for me because I
look,
can't afford to learn programming, right? It's just like everyone watching this, if you're an entrepreneur, you can't afford to wash your laundry. You can't afford to clean your own house. You can't afford to cut your lawn or shovel your snow. You need to be doing rainmaker activities,
let's dig in
working.
that one, Randy, because 1 out of 5 millionaires that we have interviewed in this podcast, they are tech entrepreneurs. However, the interesting thing that we find out is that 80% of these tech entrepreneurs that have become millionaires, they are not programmers. They don't know anything. What they understand
Right,
is that, okay, I need this software to develop because there is a certain market that want to
right,
pay money for it. And they go and find, they know the marketing strategy, they know how to reach the market, they know how this community, how this group are willing to pay for it. And then they go back and hire a programmer and write the code. And the other 20% of people that have been tech entrepreneurs that have exits, few companies that have been part of this podcast, when they come to the podcast, they spend the whole interview talking about sales and marketing. They don't talk
of
anything about
course.
writing code,
Yeah, of
and that's
course.
the reason why they are millionaires. Okay, so there are
Yeah,
certain misunderstanding in terms of the tech engineers and they work. We have some role models, maybe. For example, I don't think Elon Musk is a tech. He's a programmer, but well, we can see Mark Zuckerberg that's writing a little bit of code. Jeff Bezos doesn't write any. As my understanding, he was not a programmer, right? It was so. But there are a few people in the tech space, like the Googles, that they are tech software developers, and there is a misconception, I think, in the tech entrepreneurial world that if you are a good programmer, you write an amazing code, you could be a multi-millionaire. So, what is your comments on this? How far a good programmer or a good software developer are actually on the line to become a great entrepreneur and to exit a company of a multi-million-dollar company. Yeah, and how someone like you that drop out of school and never wrote the code in your life, if tomorrow you want to market this spot that you're doing and take it to the next level, you can also make $1 million exiting that,
Right.
or say, or offering this software to other people, right?
Yeah. So it's how big your dream is, right? If you want to learn, if you want to become a millionaire and be worth $1 million, you can do that with code. If you want to scale, if you want to do something that's a $300 million exit or a $700 million exit, or you want to become a unicorn and be a
Mm-hmm.
$1 billion valuation, you're not going to do that writing code. Okay. For me, I like literally, I have a piece of the action now in a software as a service company.
Wow, look at this.
That is so hysterical to me because I think of the principal who expelled me from high school. You know, I make more money in a day than he would make in his maybe his whole
Probably
career
one
now.
speech.
Right? So it's still hysterical to me, but because I don't, oh, sorry, I'm hitting my computer. I don't need to know how to write code. I need to
Mhm.
know what do I want the code to do? How will it solve a problem or add value? So I got together with a buddy of mine and I said, oh, okay, I want to create this. I want to create a tool for authors that they could take their book and say, all right, here's chapter 1. Create 10 snippets from this chapter. Then take those snippets and create 10 less than 5 minute videos.
Mhm.
Then connect it with HeyGen so that it can create the video avatar, looks, program exact like
Mm.
them. So we can translate it into any language we want. Then take it from HeyGen, the video, and connect it with 11 labs for the audio. Because HeyGen has really good video. I don't think their audio is realistic. But 11 Labs does really good audio, but they don't have the video. So we created this tool that does that. And then, so let's say when my new book comes out, I've got, I think, 14 chapters in that book. I could create
Wow,
10
how much content?
short stories of each chapter. So I will have 140 pieces of content that will be written for me, will be recorded like it's me in my voice with my avatar. And I could create 10,000 pieces of content for social media from that. And it's all automated. So we created a
Yeah,
way to
Randy,
do
but you have done the work before. You did the work before. You wrote those 15 books in the first place.
right.
And this is
Exactly.
what we are missing, I think,
That's the
in out
scaling
there.
though. That's the
Exactly.
scale,
The
right?
people
I
don't want
did
to
the
do the
work.
work. People don't want to
I
do the
created the
first.
IP
You talk about
and then I
14,
scale it.
14 books. It's a big job. I wrote
Yeah.
I wrote a few books. It's you have to, if you're writing it for real, right? Before AI and you are putting what it takes to it, right? It's a process that is hard work. I get it that you enjoy writing those books. And then the other thing, Randy, that I love about you when we discuss this in this podcast, and I always say, okay, first time founders, okay, they are product focused. They love the product. They want to create the better product, better than anybody else, because they think that this product, if it's so good, people are gonna go and buy it and will sell by itself. Now, second time founders, they have a different approach. They understand more that is more about sales and marketing approach, right? That the product is kind of in a second level, because what you need to first reach a market and think what the market want, how much they want to pay for it, and after you listen what they want and whatever, you go back and you create the product. So then the relevance from second time founder is more sales and marketing, right? Now we have a third layer, which is third time founders, which have this approach that we have. Like, you create the community first, you create the content first, and after you design the marketing and sales strategy, and finally, uh, you can allocate products and services to that community. So how was this process of you for discovery? Because in my experience, very few people jump into trees. I have been, for example, from this process from all the way from my first businesses. I want to have a product amazing. I remember I opened a restaurant in Brick Lane in London. I lost 200,000 pounds. I even won a guitar on the roof and in the ceiling. I did the guitar and the product was so amazing. Well, when I opened the door, nobody walked in. Yeah. And the restaurant, by the way, today is a Chinese restaurant, and still my guitar that cost me a lot of money. It's the Chinese guy arrived, saw a guitar, said, "You know what? That's okay. Leave it." so my guitar still is in Brick Lane. So imagine how many mistakes. So I've been in this process that I described to you the hard way until finally. So how you realize briefly, because I know we need to conclude the interview. I want, Randy, that you tell us where people can find you, how this process works, where they can buy your books, and what is your last message for entrepreneurs?
All right. So how to find me, randygage.com. That's my Starfleet command site. My podcast is there. My blog is there. Breakthrough You, my coaching program is there. Everything Randy you can find there. And I work with entrepreneurs who want to make a difference. And I believe I'm just a big believer in free enterprise, in entrepreneurship. That's why entrepreneurs are my tribe. That's why I love them. They love me. We work together because we have we have the same foundational belief that government can't solve all our problems. You can't, if we waited, we will never get to Mars if we're going to wait for the government to fund, right? That just wouldn't happen.
Absolutely.
You need somebody like Elon who has that vision, who's people like Jeff Bezos who have those visions to do those things, to do those moonshots, those bold, daring, imaginative, audacious goals that we go after.
All the progress from society have been done for entrepreneurs, by entrepreneurs.
Exactly. So if we just go back to a point of service and say, how can I solve problems? How can I add value? You will find there are people who will lovingly, joyfully, gratefully throw money at you to make your problems go away. 100%. And that's what we need to do as entrepreneurs.
Randy, last note, because before the broadcast, we talked from this podcast, we believe that all entrepreneurs should be healthy, wealthy, and happy. And exactly what you described. It's an amazing, I think you and I will love to spend most of our time surrounded by entrepreneurs and try to give them support so they can achieve their goals, so their goals become our goals, right? And we are from the space of contribution to them. So, however, emotional building a business creates a lot of emotional pain sometimes, because when you start a business, nobody knows you, and so then the clients want to ask you for discount, the supplier want to charge you more, and then people don't pay you. Anything happens when you start the business, all this negative emotion, if you don't work, if the entrepreneur doesn't work, sometimes can end up in physical pain. People can end up with heart attack, cancer, whatever. So what is your message for entrepreneurs that we all have been through tough time? We are under more pressure than anybody else out there because we're responsible for salaries, X, Y, and Z. So what is your message on that topic to conclude?
For the mental side of the game, the new book would be perfect, but that's not going to be out for a few months. I have a book called Radical Rebirth. It's how to kill off the parts of you that you don't like and work with the parts of you that you love. And it's very broad-based about the holistic side of prosperity. That would be a good book to read. And another thing is
let me know when you're gonna launch the book so we interview you about the book.
Well, we will definitely get back with you.
We would love to have you.
Yeah, and then just a free resource right now, right on my homepage, randygage.com, I have a PDF called The 7 Elements of a Prosperous Life. And it's written for entrepreneurs on how to find the kind of business that lights you up and attract the kind of people who want to work on that kind of business, and how to do it without giving away your health, without ruining your relationships, without selling your soul, but how to be truly healthy, happy, and prosperous. So that's just, it's right on the homepage. Click and download it for free. But I think that'll be a good help people frame that mindset when they face those difficulties you just mentioned, because you will face those difficulties. All of us who are entrepreneurs do.
They're coming, yeah, and we have to deal with it. So, Randy, once again, thank you so much for being in the broadcast. I really appreciate it. I wish you the best. I think that what we do is essential to keep, because entrepreneurs, they only can hear, learn, and be coached for other entrepreneurs. Nobody else outside this space can work with them, because they simply don't understand the mechanics and the pressures that we are exposed. So thank you so much for the work you do. Keep helping people, keep doing the talks. Yeah. and keeping it slow now from this. I'm choosing now United States and London to do talks only. But to try to fly as least as possible. You know how it is when you sometimes you get invited and you cannot say no, but still we need to be able to see how we can scale the best without spending so much time in the plane like I was before COVID, flying all over the world. So thank you so much, Randy. And for all of you following the broadcast, see you in our next episode of Unstoppable. Our brave entrepreneur life, Randy, break that wall and achieve the first thing. Bye for now.
Thank you, everyone. Peace.
Yeah.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.